Hello and welcome to the Ninqueso Exploring Japan channel, where I am on a journey to find out everything I can about Japan, the people, the culture, and today about 16 things that I actually need to know before I travel to Japan, should that ever happen, because you know, I'm in the UK, it's quite a way away. But one of the things I need to know is, where did you get that Pikachu cushion from? Look, that lovely Pikachu and the Sylveon in the background. So already this video has my hopes up high because, you know, we like a good Pikachu on this channel. Sylveon, yeah, I'm a bit indifferent to, really. So let us find out exactly what these 16 things are that we should know before traveling to Japan. Because, you know, we don't want to, like, not know something that's important.
Let's jump right into it. 16 unspoken rules you need to know when you are traveling in Japan.
Yes, unspoken rules as well. Things that no one's going to tell us otherwise. So thankfully, Alison here is going to let us in on the secrets.
Some of these might be a little bit more basic than others, but I'm trying to be diverse. 1, people reserve seats with their belongings. It's what you do. You're kind of expected to do it, actually. So by that, I mean, like, when you go into a Starbucks, for example, you're always basically going to want to first go to the seat and put something at the seat to reserve it.
Okay, I get that. So if you see something on the seat that someone's reserved that, I mean, the way I don't really go into coffee shops very often, and I would I don't think I've ever been into one by myself. What normally happens is, if I'm with a friend, one of us will go up to the counter and the other one will go find a seat. That's the kind of way it works. So we kind of like don't really reserve the things with items. We reserve it with a person. Is that allowed? I hope so.
Fit while you order your food. A lot of restaurants operate like this. Not all, but a lot. And you could just put like your washcloth, handkerchief thing, umbrella, just anything really.
I don't have a washcloth, handkerchief, umbrella. Oh my.
Really? Or even your whole bag. It's very safe. No one's going to take it, but you do need to reserve the seat with
I
something,
love the probably.
Usually so. And if you do see a table that looks empty, but there's like a washcloth on it, it's reserved. Don't sit there.
Okay.
This isn't really an unspoken rule, but on that note, do carry a washcloth if you are traveling in Japan, or like a handkerchief kind of thing.
Is that so you can reserve your tables? Otherwise, you just got no luck.
A lot of public restrooms are not going to have like paper towels or hand dryers. That's not one of the rules. That's just extra tip. Okay. Rule number 2.
For the extra tip.
When taking trains, be very mindful of your manners.
Is this going along the lines of we need to queue in a nice straight line when we get on? We can't just like barge our way onto the trains, which I like. I don't want to barge my way onto a train. I'm happy for everyone just to go in turn.
So many foreign American tourists.
American tourists, there you go. Not the UK. We're not being like picked out here.
They'll speak really loudly on the train. You can talk on the train. I'm not saying you can't talk, but do it at, you know,
quiet volume. That's the one thing. This really does bug me, actually. People who are like on their phones on the bus, like going, rah, it's just like, shut up. I don't want to listen to your conversation. I can't even imagine answering the phone on the bus. I would look at it, see who it is, and then ring them if I don't talk on the phone anyway. And I'll just text and be like, I'm on the bus, can't talk. You know, why would you want to talk loudly on public transport? That's just a no. I hate it. It really is a bugbear of mine.
And maybe you'll be on a train that is dead silent. In that case, kind of whisper voice. Depends on the train. There are also other manners you should be mindful of, like when you're boarding the train, form 2 lines to enter first and let the people out before you enter. Yield your seat to the elderly, pregnant, disabled, etc.
See, this actually does concern me now because I have a disability which isn't really visible in any way. It's like, I always feel guilty. It's like if I'm sat somewhere and I see other people, I feel well guilty. It's like, I can't stand up. I need to be sat down, but I don't look like I should have to be sat down. It's very stressful, you know. It is very stressful.
If you're riding a crowded train, put your backpack in front of you, not to prevent thievery, but just to give more space to the people around you in the train.
Yes, don't eat on the trains. Bullet trains apparently is fine. That's good. I mean, most of the, like in the UK, all the buses and things have signs on saying do not eat. I think it's fine on like longer journeys. I don't really go on too many longer journeys on trains though. I'm sure it's fine on the trains I've been on to London and things, but...
Train. Number 3, in general, be careful not to talk too loudly or draw too much attention to yourself in public. A big theme of this list is to be quiet.
I like that theme. I don't want to be loud. I'm not loud. My mic is like up 10 decibels here just so you can hear me, and I'm sat like an inch away from it.
Again, I don't mean you can't talk. I just mean use your inside voices. No yelling, please, please. Number 4, people in Japan may not say no.
They won't say no. Is that because they would say yen? Yen? Like that.
To you directly when they mean no. Outright saying no is kind of rude here in a lot of cases. So people might say instead like, oh, it's kind of difficult, or I don't know, or they'll just kind of like suck air in their teeth. That means no. So
okay,
basically if you ask permission or for something and they look uncomfortable, it probably means no. 5.
So in other words, if they don't just say yes, that's fine, then take it as a no and be like, oh, okay, no worries. Thank you very much. Obviously, I'll need to learn exactly what that is in Japanese.
When you cough or sneeze,
cover your mouth. Why is this on the list? This is just like... Who doesn't do this? If it's you and you're watching... I can see ya. Don't you be pretending it's not you.
Please, cover your mouth with your arm or something. This doesn't just go for COVID times, this goes for all the time. I know this is actually kind of different by a lot of different countries. So in Japan, cover. And if you are sick, wear a mask, especially right now, please. 6, you've probably heard this before, but you need to...
That's fine. You know, I'm sat in my house, there are no shoes on my feet because I'm indoors and I don't want my dirty outdoor shoes walking everywhere in my house.
Remove your shoes when you enter like a Japanese house. But this doesn't just stop at houses, because you're probably thinking, well, why would I go to a Japanese house? You also may need to remove them at like temples, historical sites, and even restaurants.
Which is why if you're wearing sandals, you need to bring some socks with you. These are things that I've learned, you see.
Not all restaurants, mostly just like Japanese style ones. So do bring shoes that you can easily slip on and off. I have traveled before with someone who wore like the Doc Martens, the lace up all the way. Not that, let's leave that at home. However,
I don't have any
socks.
of those.
Even in summer, if you're wearing sandals, that's fine, but keep an extra pair of socks in your bag. Barefoots, like, no. And a lot of temples and like historical places actually will require you to wear socks. They're not gonna let you in if you're not. So do be careful of that. If you don't have socks, you could just go.
See, I knew this. I didn't really think this was like an unspoken rule. I thought this was just more like a common knowledge thing, really.
Go to the convenience store and buy some, but keep it in mind. 7, Americans. Tipping is not accepted in Japan. Don't tip here. No one. No tipping. I mean it. No. I don't care how
rarely tip in this country anyway.
good of a service they provided you. Tipping is like insulting in many cases at restaurants, anything.
Is this because like workers in restaurants in Japan actually get paid a decent wage, unlike workers in America who get paid absolutely pittance?
Just don't tip. Don't think you need a tip. There may be a few exceptions, like maybe like a tour guide who's like non-Japanese, that kind of thing, but really
no. I'm not tipping a tour guide who's not Japanese. No.
General, you don't need to tip. So rejoice, you can save a lot of money. 8, it's considered rude to eat or drink while you're walking in public. This is one I also see online a lot. It's kind of true, but
I have heard about this as well. That if you are getting something, that most places will have somewhere that you can sort of stand just outside to eat rather than just walking down the street eating it.
I think it's kind of changing. Maybe 20 years ago, this would have been different, but nowadays, I think drinking especially is a lot more common, like with Starbucks and things, you know, just having a coffee in your hand while you're walking. That's a lot more common now, at least in Tokyo and stuff. But I would say for food, it is rude if you try to eat and walk, depending on the food and where you are. Like if you're in Asakusa with all the food stalls, or like you're at a festival, you can eat and walk, I mean, come on. Should you be eating like an egg sandwich while walking around? No. But if it's like a skewer or something, then... But
so is this going down to it's like the messier the food, the less you want to be walking around, basically. You don't want to be making a mess everywhere. It's kind of how I perceive this.
In general, I'd say rather than walking, even in like Asakusa and places, rather than walking, it's more common, more accepted to just kind of stand in one place and eat it and then go back to the store and throw your garbage away there. 9, when you are paying in cash.
I guess that's also what it's for as well, is if you have got something that's in packet, they don't, and you all of a sudden you're miles away from where you were and there's no bin, it's just like people are going to litter, which is bad. Okay, so I can appreciate the no walking and eating. I don't really like eating in public that much anyway. It's like, I can't remember if I've ever been walking down the street eating food. I don't think I ever have at all, because I just don't like it. It just makes me feel uncomfortable.
Cash, you put your money into the little, usually a blue tray that the cashier will kind of push at you. Don't hand it directly unless there's no tray. Also, when you're paying at like a restaurant or things,
that's good to know. I wasn't 100%. I wasn't aware of this.
A lot of the time they're going to give you like your receipt, or not even a receipt, like just the food that you ordered on a piece of paper, and you're going to bring that to the cashier to pay. This is pretty common in Japan. It's not all restaurants, but it's common. So don't expect to pay at your table in most places.
Okay, that's fine. A lot of places like in the UK are like that as well, where you like, they'll bring you the bill and then you pay up on the way out kind of thing. It's fine.
So on that note, do bring cash. Cashless did become a lot more common, a lot more accepted during COVID.
Well, we need cash for the gachapon machines, don't we? They don't take card yet.
However, a lot of stores, a lot of restaurants still only accept cash, even in Tokyo. You don't want to be caught without cash or a way to pay. So do always have money on you at all times. 10, don't touch taxi doors. I don't make the mistake, but like I really want to make the mistake. Taxi doors in Japan are basically all automatic. Like the driver will push a button and the door will open and close. So don't touch it. They don't like it when you touch it because they can't kind of confirm that the door has been closed correctly. I know it's hard not to touch it, but
see, that I had no idea. No idea at all. Can't remember the last time I used a taxi.
Don't touch it. Just wait.
I will not touch that taxi door. Don't worry.
They will open the door for you. 11, you're gonna have to carry trash around with you. Public garbage cans are kind of rare here, especially lately. They've been decreasing. Really, the only places you might find one is at some train stations, JR ones, and then convenience stores. But a lot of convenience stores actually might not have garbage cans.
She will personally find you and yell at you. I'm down with that. This is why I normally have a backpack on me as well. I can just put my rubbish in there until I get to where there is a convenient place to put my litter.
Cans if you're in like a tourist.
Oh, I'm going to go on a rant here. It's like where I live, it is disgusting. There is just like rubbish everywhere. It's like my landlord came out once and he like sort of said, oh, what's all this out the front? It's just like, what do you expect? You clean it up and literally someone will just, they just throw anything and everything down on the floor. It's just like there's no respect whatsoever. Just around the corner from mine, there's just like people just don't even use bins. There's just like a big pile of rubbish that the council has to clean up every so often. It's just awful. I absolutely hate it.
Area, or they might be pretty strict with like you can only throw away what you bought there in the garbage can, so just be prepared, it might happen. 12, be careful about taking photos. Privacy laws are pretty strict in Japan compared to like America at least, so if you like take like a straight on shot of a stranger and you like want to upload it, it's not allowed. You shouldn't do that, like where the stranger is clearly identifiable in the focus. And a lot of stores and even restaurants are going to restrict photography. They're usually going to have like a sign out in front, like with a camera that just says like, no.
That's quite obvious that means no cameras, no pictures, no cameras, no videos.
Like crossed out. So be careful. I'm not saying you can't take photos. Of course you can take photos a lot of places.
But don't have someone you don't know in the focus of the photo. I have seen like a lot of like the videos that I've watched where like people have been playing on the crane games and things, and they're actually from Japan. They'll normally blur out anything that's like peripheral on the shots so that people who aren't part of their video can't be seen, and also know they've asked permission as well to film in those places.
It's just be careful with what you're doing and who you're taking the photo of. Even some restaurants have this rule, or they're only going to want you to take photos of like the food compared to like the customers. 13, many places, restaurants in Japan, they're not going to alter the menu for you, even Starbucks. So forget the custom order things. Just, it's not going to happen. They're not going to.
I can't think I've ever asked for that in a thing. Oh, can you do this? But I mean, say the only place I know that does that is like McDonald's, and the only time I would ever do that as well, I would never do that going up to the counter because I'd feel like really awkward. But they do actually on their touchscreen machines now. You can like change stuff, and that's the only time I've ever done it. But it just doesn't occur to me, so it just makes me feel awkward, like I'm being like really fussy.
Do it. If anything, Starbucks is like the most flexible, and they have like a set amount of things they will change for you or alter, customize, but they're not going to do it like in America. Even restaurants, if you try to like order a hamburger, for example, some places are not going to like, they're not going to take off the tomato if you ask for it. And they're not going to replace it with pickles or something.
The weird thing about that is it's not too hard just to lift the bun off your burger and take out your gherkin if you don't like it.
Some places will, but a lot are not, especially if it's a more complicated dish or you're asking for something like not in the sauce or something. It's not going to happen. It's just how it is. I will say, though, that fancier places in general will alter the menu for you. Like if you say you can't eat seafood, for example, as long as you request it in advance. Like say you made a reservation. Okay. 14, really quick. Japan loves lines. People line up for everything
wrong
here.
With a good old
very
line.
Orderly. Don't cut the line. Don't try to break the line. Don't try to skip the line. Please.
Why would you?
I know some countries like lines aren't really respected, I guess.
Oh, when I went to a theme park in France, that was a nightmare. There was just no regard for personal space when you're in the lines as well, and people just keep bumping into you. It's just like, just get a line, form it. Keep your distance.
Yes, but here they are super respected. 15, stand on the left side of the escalator in most of the country, like in Tokyo. However, like...
Is it on the right in this side? I'm pretty sure in London it's on the right. It's good to know that it's on the left.
In Osaka, Kyoto, you're going to stand on the right side.
Oh my God.
When in doubt, follow what other people are...
That's the easiest way of doing it, isn't it? Just where everyone else is standing, just stand there.
Are doing. And this also goes not just for escalators, but like when walking on the street, a lot of the times you're probably going to see people like gravitate to, like in Tokyo, the left side rather than just kind of being random. It's not always, it's just general flows usually work out that way. So
okay.
16, most importantly.
Oh, this is it. This is the most important one.
Probably be aware of the people around you. So many of the rules I just discussed and so much of Japanese culture in general follows the theme of not causing trouble for the people around you. Being considerate. I know.
See, this is what I like about Japan. Not that I've been there or anything, but just that is what I like about it. Over here, people don't care. They're just like, they'll moan at you for bloody anything. You know? I was like, literally today I was walking to like the shop. I was walking through like this little pedestrian part, and this guy on a bike came past, and he had to go around me because he was coming down an alleyway. I was walking across, and he literally just like swore at me, and he's just like, mate, you're not even meant to be cycling. You know? I hate people sometimes.
What a concept. So honestly, if you're ever in doubt, just try to be courteous, be aware of the people around you, be nice, and you'll probably end up doing something that's basically the right thing, and you'll be fine.
There's a ditto as well. I've only just noticed the ditto next to the Sylveon.
I wouldn't worry about memorizing all these random rules. There's others that I haven't mentioned.
Just be nice. Just as I say at the end of each video. Be nice to people.
Mentioned here, obviously, because in general, if you are a good person, if you are nice to the people around you, considerate, that's good. That's all.
That's really all it takes.
So
that's
I wouldn't
all
worry
it takes.
so much about being really like nervous about breaking any of these rules or whatever. People do it all the time, and you're a tourist. No one's gonna expect you to actually follow all these rules like all the time. It's fine. Of course, it's best. It's nice if you try to do your best, but if you make a mistake, don't worry about it. So yeah, these are 16 of the.
So there we go. There were 16 unspoken rules in Japan. Now let me know down in the comments which ones of those you're aware of, which ones of those you were worried that you might inadvertently break. I mean, I can't see myself inadvertently breaking any of those because that's just kind of, it just boils down for just having respect for where you are and respecting other people as well. So yeah, that was an interesting little video, that was. And that was by Alison in Tokyo. So if you did like their video, I will leave a link down in the description and you can head on over there and give her video a little like. I'm going to find a slightly better picture where she's not got her eyes closed. There we go. That's not much more flattering, Alison. I do apologise, but there you go. But if you did like my video, then please go down and hit that like button and let me know down in the comments of any other videos about Japan that you think I should check out, because I don't get many comments and I'll definitely read it and I might even do a video on it. And if you want to see more of my content, then please make sure you hit that subscribe button. But until next time, just be nice to people. Bye!